Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most controversial topics in pop culture today, cultural appropriation. We'll look at some of the biggest names in entertainment, like Beyoncé, Katy Perry, and more, to ask when is it appreciation and when is it too much? So let's get into it. Let's start with Beyoncé. She's known for using imagery and themes from African and African American culture, especially in projects like Lemonade and Black is King. But since she's drawing from her own heritage, it's typically seen as cultural celebration rather than appropriation. The controversy surrounding Beyoncé sparked after the singer shared an image of herself wearing an extravagant pink and gold dress with seemingly traditional Indian accessories, including a headpiece and bracelets. Some critics immediately assumed Bey was culturally appropriating Indian or Hindi culture, but suggested it would go unnoticed due to her social status. Fans, however, shut the allegations down, noting that she was actually paying homage to the culture. They also stated that she was invited to perform at the party by a prominent Indian family, and therefore should be dressed appropriately. In Black is King, for instance, Beyoncé worked with African designers, directors, and artists to create an authentic representation of African traditions. This collaboration with people from the culture she's drawing from shows respect and intention, and that's why many consider this to be cultural celebration rather than appropriation. By involving the community, she's not just borrowing elements, she's elevating and honoring them. This is the kind of cultural exchange that tends to be celebrated rather than criticized. Now, let's contrast that with Katy Perry's 2013 performance at the American Music Awards, where she dressed as a geisha. The performance included Japanese-inspired costumes, set designs, and even choreography. While it was visually striking, it was also heavily criticized for using Japanese culture as an aesthetic without fully understanding or respecting its significance. Many Japanese and Asian American viewers found the performance problematic, arguing that it played into stereotypes about Asian women, presenting them as submissive and exotic. This isn't just about costumes or style. For many, it's about how these portrayals impact real-life perceptions and reinforce harmful stereotypes. Katy later apologized, saying she now understands why her portrayal was hurtful. Her performance is a prime example of how cultural elements can feel reduced to a superficial trend, especially when deeper historical or social issues are overlooked. Another big name in the debate is Justin Bieber, who's been called out a few times for wearing dreadlocks. For Black people, dreadlocks aren't just a hairstyle. They carry deep historical and cultural significance, often symbolizing a connection to African heritage and spirituality. Black people have faced discrimination for wearing dreadlocks, sometimes even losing job opportunities. When celebrities adopt these styles without acknowledging the struggles tied to them, it can feel like erasure. It's a reminder of the privilege some people have to wear certain styles without the same consequences. It's not just about aesthetics. The question of who gets to use certain symbols and when often highlights broader social issues like privilege and power dynamics.
Cultural appreciation is when you actually work with the people from the culture that you're taking something from.
I'm inspired by this and I also want to contribute to this culture as well.
The type of model high fashion brands use in their campaigns indicate who their target market is.
You're very inspired by, say, Moroccan culture. Put a North African model in your clothes.
Good example of somebody doing it right is Fenty. Bella Hadid came out in a yellow lingerie, but there was a headdress kind of reminiscent of a hijab. The fact that she used a Palestinian model reflects the lack of backlash.
Through self-reflection, you will be better able to understand differences and determine what is important in cultures across the world. If you realize that a specific aspect of your own cultural background is central to your identity, and it would offend you if someone were to use it without understanding fully what it means, consider that people all over the world, in cultures other than your own, may feel exactly the same way. Think about, would I be offended if someone wore an important religious symbol from my culture without understanding what it truly means? One of the best ways to understand and appreciate another culture is by listening to those who are a part of the fabric of that society. Listen to their stories, understand the implications behind the aspects of their culture that you are interested in, and use that understanding to broaden your worldview. What does a certain symbol mean to a particular culture? When and where is it appropriate to use it? Understanding what the various aspects of a culture are and what they mean are so important. If you truly have an interest in a person's life, more than likely, they will be happy to share with you the things that matter to them. The most important part of cultural exchange, and what best distinguishes it from appropriation, is that exchange is mutual. Through appreciation and exchange, you are able to share something about yourself, learn something about someone else, and partake in a mutual understanding of one another's background and culture. There are ways to appreciate other cultures responsibly. Many artists today work with people from those cultures to ensure authenticity. For example, Beyoncé's Black is King is full of African designers, choreographers, and co-directors, creating a partnership that uplifts everyone involved. Collaborating in this way creates room for cultural exchange while honoring the origins of those symbols. This can lead to real appreciation and understanding, which is what cultural celebration should be about. Ultimately, cultural appropriation is a complex issue, and while we might not have all the answers, open conversations like this help us learn and grow. If there's one takeaway here, it's this: respect and understanding are key. So what do you think? Do you believe some of these examples cross the line, or are they celebrating diversity? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching.